And so a lot of times people say, well, I'm not passionate about doing this thing and I'm not passionate about doing that thing. It's like, dude, fuck your passion.
Today we're diving into the world of Amazon FBA with the man himself, Bashar J. Kato. Bashar has generated over $50 million with Amazon FBA. He's ran multiple different kinds of businesses, but today I want to take you behind the scenes and have him share with you exactly what helped him go to that next level so you can learn how to do it too. Hello.
What's up, dude?
Yo.
How's
Good
everything,
to see
man?
you.
Good to see
Amazing,
you.
man.
How's everything?
Good,
How
dude.
you
This is
been?
Sebastian,
What's up, buddy?
Bashar.
Bashar. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you.
Dang, look at this view, man. Wow.
Yeah,
you guys ever just walk the beach in the morning?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
not as often. You know what's interesting is when you don't have it,
Yeah.
you just want to have it.
Yeah.
And then when you have it, it's like, okay, whatever. It's like the car, you know? It's like I've
Yeah.
always wanted the car.
Yeah.
And then when I got the car, it's like, okay, whatever.
You actually had, before, one of the first businesses you had was medicinal cannabis.
I did.
And it got rated.
Well, we had 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is in California.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, so
so-
that was when, I mean.
So this was the green rush of San Diego, of California.
The green rush.
This was right after my restaurant burned down in 2015.
It was after. Oh.
Yeah, so it was right after a bunch of my buddies from high school were
Yeah.
getting into the marijuana industry,
Yeah.
and I was broke as fuck. And
Yeah.
I was like, dude, all these friends are like going out and spending all this money. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we got into marijuana dispensaries.
Yeah.
And so my buddy and I scraped by. I had 5,000. He had 15,000, I think. We put it together.
Yeah.
And then I went and rented a garage in the back of a doggy daycare. And literally, I'm not kidding you, the place was probably as big as, maybe a little bit wider.
Yeah.
But from the thing to there,
Yeah.
and then like this big. And then this was like our reception area.
Yeah.
So people come in that door, there's a little window.
And then they
they
go-
check in their thing, and then they go inside. And then the back was about this big.
Wow.
The back was about this big. There was literally only room for like 3 shelves. We were there for a year. We made each about $100 grand or so.
Wow.
We took that money, invested it in 2 other dispensaries.
Yeah.
Both got rated. All of our money got wiped. 7-8 months into it, we were each making $1,000 a day.
Wow.
In profit.
Wow.
And it's all cash.
Yeah.
So it's like it's right there in front of you. Like our business credit card or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like cash.
Yeah.
And then every night we're like putting a bunch of cash on the
Yeah.
table, and it was like almost like we were like drug lords,
Yeah.
I many times, one of my cousins, he's 28 years old. He calls me for advice all the time, and I was talking to him actually 2 days ago. He's like, what would you say to your 25-year-old, 26-year-old self? And up until now, my thing is like, I don't want to have regrets. And I think I truly believe I am here because of all the experiences that I've had.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be here if it wasn't that. I'm not sure if everyone is built the same way we're built.
Yeah.
With the kind of resilience that we have, because it really has to, you need to have a certain amount of resilience for you to be able to go through all those, ups and downs before you say, fuck it, I'm just done with this.
Yeah.
And I truly do believe that there is an easier way.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's kind of what I now recommend to the younger people.
Okay.
And I'm like, instead of trying to just go into it and start it your own, find somebody who you believe in, who is in the space or in the industry that you want to maybe grow in, and then go under them and learn everything from them, and then decide if you want to do something in that space or in a different space. But what's going to happen is, all the experience that I gained from launching 9 businesses, I could have gained by working for somebody else.
Like an apprentice.
Exactly, and it probably would have been a lot easier.
Yeah. So talk me about this studio here.
Yeah, so
this
is my wall. I call it the wall. So faith, mission. So this is signed by Kobe Bryant.
No way.
And actually it has a certification in the back. So God, mission, country. That's kind of how I think about it. So this American flag, I'm actually, I'm very proud to be a U.S. citizen now.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for this country. And this specific flag was flown above Iraq. And then here, this is some inspiration.
You already have the rules.
I do have the roles. But the roles thing is a lot deeper. It's not just the car.
Yeah.
My father is the person that I admired and why I became an entrepreneur. And in the 70s and 80s, he was actually a successful entrepreneur in Iraq. Although he had a lot of money, he always wanted the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
And he could never get it because Saddam wouldn't let him import a Rolls Royce into Iraq, because Saddam was the only one to be allowed to drive a Rolls Royce.
No way.
And nobody else in the country was allowed to drive a Rolls Royce.
You know, the numbers you guys do as a company, it's not just amazing for how much impact you make, but it's also like, look at the setup. Like, this is going to be cool for the audience to see, because they're going to be able to see behind the scenes of a company that does multiple millions per month from the comfort of his own room, remote. And like, a lot of people have this doubt that they can't do that.
Right.
But I was like, Bashar does.
And this is where the core value of KISS comes in. You know, that's why I only wear black.
Yeah.
Literally, I have 4 shirts that are like this, 4 jeans, you know, 3 black shoes, and that's it. And I just keep it simple, and I focus on what's important, right? Which is the mission, which is driving the company, growing the organization, and impacting people's lives.
Yeah.
That's what's important to me. There is, I don't know if you've seen this, you've probably seen this. So Sam Ovens talks about this a lot. This is where I learned actually this from. He talks about this. So he says this is energy, right? And then if you focus on one thing, you can take this for as long as you know, for as far as you want. Or if you do 5 things at the same time, you're only going to be able to do so much of it, right?
Yeah.
Because we only have so much energy, so much time, so much effort.
Yeah.
And the more things we focus on, the less effective they are, the less of a result we're going to generate from that one thing. And so for me, it's like, well, what's important?
Yeah.
So this is where I work, man.
Okay. So
That's
it's just,
it.
yeah, this is sick. And then, so you're a views guy. You value views.
I do.
Yeah. See.
I do.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
Yeah, because, you know, the thing is, like, we're working from home all the time.
Yeah.
And I have tried where, like, you know, like Harmozy would work in a
Yeah, the
closet and
closet,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, I tried doing that. Like, I even tried facing my desk the other way.
Yeah. So you don't have any distraction.
No distract, but it just doesn't work for me. So this is, you know, living area. This is our bedroom. I love our bedroom. I love keeping the windows open when I wake up.
Yeah.
Waking up to this.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Natural sunlight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, this
Although
is awesome.
Rueda hates it and she likes to close it, but I'm like, no, open it, because I want
Yeah.
to wake up to this and I want to go to sleep like this too.
So talk about that.
Well, it's just like anything, right? People that don't know assume,
Yeah.
and then normally assumptions are wrong. Like literally, you
Yeah.
know, what? Like, let me ask you, when was the last time you made an assumption that was actually right?
Yeah. I mean, I've made a lot of wrong assumptions.
Maybe I'm just horrible, but like 80% of the assumptions that I make about anything, whether if it's personnel or situations or whatever, they're normally always wrong, you know, because we just have this notion in our mind that it's right, and then based on whatever information, but it's far from reality. And so the same thing with Amazon. Before COVID,
Yeah.
I had been a seller on Amazon for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yet I had never bought anything online. I would go to Best Buy to buy my electronics. I was the type of person that, like, I had to feel it, I had to touch it,
Yeah.
you know? Where after COVID, I can't remember the last time I bought anything not from Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, there's over 340 something million products being sold on Amazon. There's over 500 million people buying on Amazon every single year. And so there's more people on Amazon, there's more opportunity, there's more products. It's actually a lot easier. Like, we have students, this is not the average, this is not, you know, this is like what's possible, but we have students now who'll do $200,000, $300,000 in sales in their first year. We never used to have those kind of results in the past. Like, the most we got was like maybe 50 or 75 in the past.
Yeah.
Where now we're able to have these students do that because, again, the opportunity is just so much bigger, you know?
And I like how you said it too. You framed it perfectly there. You're like, this is not the average, this is what's possible.
Right.
Because a lot of people won't say that. They'll say, oh, you can do the 200, 300, right? But that's what I like about you, and that's exactly why I wanted to do this with you too, because I remember when you told me at dinner how you got your start in Amazon, after the medical dispensary, you know, after the restaurant burned down. But then, I mean, I want you to share it with them, because it was such an impactful story when you were able to see the impact you were able to make helping somebody else get that same result on Amazon after you did.
Yeah, you know, it was a conversation with Rueda's cousin, my wife's cousin, and he asked me the question. He said, it's a question that I ask everybody. I probably asked you. He said, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? And I remember I stared at him for like 2-3 minutes, and I just couldn't answer. He's like, not an Amazon seller? I was like, well, I mean, it's helped me clear my debt. It's helped me make money, but I'm not passionate about it, you know? It's not like I woke up one day and I was like, I'm passionate about selling products on Amazon, you know? It was just a means to an end.
Yeah.
It was a vehicle.
Yes.
It wasn't the destination.
Yeah.
It was never meant to be the destination, you know? Around the same time, I had been helping this guy named Zach Brown sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
Just as kind of like a side thing. I was, you know, I think he paid me a few $100s. And I remember 23-year-old kid from North Carolina, all he wanted to do was travel the country and ride his dirt bike. He was like in some tournament or something like that. But he was a FedEx driver driving like 60, 70 hours a week, and he couldn't do that.
Yeah, he didn't have time.
He sends me a message. He goes, Bashar, you're the fucking man. In the last 6 months, I've made $36,000 in profits with Amazon. And the number was great. And probably, the listeners are probably going to be like, oh my God, $36,000. But the thing that truly hit me was like, this guy can now quit his job and go do the thing that he wants.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people say, well, I'm not passionate about doing this thing and I'm not passionate about doing that thing. It's like, dude, fuck your passion. Find something that's going to get you out of the miserable life that you're living right now. Or that's going to at least allow you to live the life that you really want. And then you can find your passion and then you can focus on your passion.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about your passion if you're broke?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's like, I hate when people like Gary Vee or whatever talk about, if you find something you love, you'll never work. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, if someone is miserable, to find the thing that you are passionate about, you have to come from a place of abundance.
Yeah.
And if you're broke, if you're in debt, if you have debt collectors calling you, or if your kids think you're an asshole because you come home at 8 o'clock and leave at 5, you're not in a place to be looking for your passion. You're in a scarce mindset. You are in a survival mindset. You know what I mean? So first, find a vehicle that's going to get you to whatever it is that you're trying to do, and then you can go find your passions.
It's so funny too, because that's exactly the same mindset I had when people were telling me, dude, like, forget all the fitness stuff, which was what my passion was at that time, 7 years ago. And they're like, dude, go all in on the YouTube ad stuff. Like, that's what you do for, your former mentor. That's what you should be doing. And that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that's going to get you from A to Z where you want to go. At the time, though, I didn't want to hear it because I was like, I don't want to be the, YouTube ads guy or YouTube ads guru at the time. But it was just my ego trying to, say, like, it didn't want to box me in. But what ended up happening a few years later, fast forward to today, right? Like, people recognize me as that because I stuck to it, because I saw it as the vehicle. It was the vehicle, and it allowed me to be able to get to a place where I do have the time freedom, I do have the location freedom, I do have the business, I do have the team. So you're 100% right, because even though it wasn't my passion to be, the YouTube ads guru, but I went all in on it because it was the vehicle that allowed me to make the money that I wanted, to be able to have breathing room and ability to take care of my family and myself as well, and personal development. So it's so true.
100%.
And so then that kind of, again, when you saw that impact it made on that person that paid you a few $100s, that's what spiraled everything else.
Well, that's what spiraled everything else in terms of the university. But prior to that, what got me into Amazon was being in a rut, being, having my back against the wall, being in debt, trying different businesses and not working. And now I call it the discovery phase. Because a lot of people say, well, I want to make money, but how the fuck, like, there's so many opportunities out there. Like, which one do I do? The answer is not doing 5 at the same time. The answer is finding one and then sticking to it for at least 2-3 years. But then it's like, how do you find the one? And I always tell people, take at least 2-3 months and research as many things as there are. And then after, you want to focus on just one and ask yourself the question, do I see myself sticking to this one thing for the next 2 to 3 years? If the answer is yes, ask yourself the second question, which is, if after 2 to 3 years this goes nowhere, because look, there's a chance it goes nowhere, will I regret the last 2 to 3 years? And the answer must be no. I won't regret the last 2 years. Then you found the thing, not the thing that's going to make you successful, the thing that you see yourself sticking to for the next 2 to 3 years. And chances are, if you do stick to anything for more than 2 to 3 years, chances are you're going to get somewhere, or at least get an experience to do the next thing that's going to become the thing. And so for me, that's kind of what it was. I found Amazon, wasn't passionate, stuck to it after doing drop shipping and this thing and the other thing. And then fast forward, Zach Brown. After that, I realized, I'm passionate about helping people or passing on the skills that I have to other people because it's like a missed opportunity that they're not aware of. Right? And I remember the tagline for Bashar JK2 at the time was, never worry about a price tag. That was my tagline. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but like, I love going out. I love eating good steak. And I remember when I would take my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, to restaurants, I'd always be looking at the menu and the prices. And that's how I would order. I would order based on the prices. And I remember one day I was like, I want to come to a fucking restaurant one day and not look at the goddamn price. I just want to look at what looks good, what sounds good, and order it. Get the check and pay it and walk out and not have a problem. Like, I swear to God, for the longest time, that's all I wanted to do in my life. Is just be able to buy whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, not worry about a price tag. So that was kind of the tagline of the company in the beginning. And even then, dude, I went 2.5 years with nothing. I was selling the cheapest course, the most valuable course, one of the only guys that actually sold on fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
Half of the gurus did not even know shit about Amazon.
Yeah.
I just didn't know marketing, I didn't know sales, I didn't know persuasion. And I went 2.5 years, maybe, selling a $400 course, and only like 10 people bought.
Oh, yeah.
It was the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
Worst, I gave up so many times.
Wow.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to build the reason why it's called BJK University and not Amazon University is because I see it as a regular university. People go to acquire skill they can turn into income.
Of course.
And so my goal has always been, I want to teach people how to sell on Amazon today because that's kind of the natural thing that came to me that I knew how to do.
Yeah.
And then I want to acquire other skills, bring instructors, and then start going into providing other skills to our clients, right? Whether if it's trading, stocks, real estate, whatever it is, ads, whatever it is, right? The problem is that we have been facing over the last 3 years is distribution.
Yeah.
And it's reaching your customers.
Yep.
So we've been solely relying on social media, mainly Instagram.
Yeah.
And we scaled on Instagram from like $150,000 a month to $2.5 million a month in like 11 months.
Yeah.
Right? It was good until it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Until they started shutting us down. And for the last 2 years, we've been struggling with grow because restrictions on channels.
Yeah.
So we started running ads on Meta and YouTube, and we're trying to crack those. But when I'm looking at this, we want to impact the lives of 1 million people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can never do that if I continue focusing and being dependent on these platforms.
Yeah.
Because just like that, they can remove your access. Just like that, they can kick you out. Just like that, I'm like, this is not building a sustainable business. So I am working on a brand new model that I don't know anybody in the space who's implemented. It's a model that exists in other industries. I read the book Blue Ocean Strategy, where it talks about look at alternative industries and then implement things that have worked in other industries in your industry. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Is I'm taking a marketing model that has been very successful in other industries, and I want to bring it to the online coaching business.
Before we leave, 2 last questions. The first one I always like to ask this is, the person who's just starting off, there's already a lot of stuff that they can get away from this. But if they're starting off right now, they don't have the business yet, they're just trying to make something work, find their first vehicle. I think you already gave it to them, but if you had one piece of advice for them to get started, get something off the ground, get something working, get that hope, get that motivation, get that first win, get that piece of success to be able to start building something for themselves, what would you say is the best piece of advice you could give to your younger self when you were going through that as well?
I would say 2 things. Entrepreneurs, we have a blessing and we have a curse at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We're cursed and we're blessed. So the blessing is that when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, is you go to action.
Yeah.
You think of something, you go to action.
Implementation.
Right? You want to go into implementation. It becomes a curse because sometimes you need to kind of step back first. And then you need to kind of do some research.
Yeah.
You need to do some research, especially as you build the company, but that's obviously not for the person that we're trying to answer the question for. So I would say 2 things. I would say either, well, no, that's not true. Let's just go focus on one thing. Here's what I would say. 2 steps. Number 1, go into this discovery phase thing that I just said.
Yep, that was a huge one.
Pick 3 to 5 industries, niches, spaces, whatever it is that you are interested in.
Yep.
And take 30 to 60 days to research everything you can about that. Dude, YouTube is an incredible tool.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, just research a bunch of stuff. Read books. Like right now, the thing that I'm telling you about, the first thing that I did is I bought 3 books that are about that thing. I attended 2 seminars, and I hired 3 consultants that I know I can learn from.
Wow.
So it's like learn everything you can for free, and if you can afford it, pay for it, right? Learn as much as you can for 2 to 3 months. And then what I would do personally, once you have picked the right thing and you answer these questions, honestly, I would find somebody who you can get under their wing and learn everything from them for the next couple of years. Because as I was telling you earlier, I did it the hard way. I did it the long way. And I went, like you did it the right way. Because you went under somebody else's wing. And you learned everything. Like you were learning while getting paid.
Exactly.
That's sick. Like that is savage. You know what I mean? Where I was fucking paying for my learnings.
Wow.
I was investing my family's last pennies into learning this shit. Going in debt, getting arrested, lawsuits. Like I could have avoided all that crap by just finding someone in the space I'm interested in, just working for them, being as close as possible to them. You don't want to find a conglomerate like a JP Morgan.
Yeah.
You want to find a smaller company, and you want to get behind them and get as close to the founder as possible. And then once you have a couple of years under your belt, then you're like, all right, now I'm ready.
And for the person watching this that has the business already, they're already scaling, they're making 7 figures, but they want to hit 8 figures. What's the piece of advice you would give to them?
You are your company's problem. You are your company's problem. There's a book called, anyone reading those 2 books, number 1, how the successful lead, I think that's what it is, by John Maxwell. And then number 2 by Dan Sullivan, Who Not How.
Yeah.
5 steps to leadership. You're a 7-figure entrepreneur, you want to go to 8 figures. You're a 6-figure entrepreneur, you want to go to 7 figures. Number 1, you need to have the ability to cast a massive vision.
Yep.
A vision so big that other great people's visions can fit inside, because you can't do anything by yourself. You need great people around you. Number 2, you need to be good at recruiting, incredible at recruiting, finding the right people in the right seats.
Yep.
Number 3, you need to be good at LMA, leading, managing, accountability.
Yep.
Number 4, you need to get the fuck out of their way. And this is the thing that I struggle with.
Wow.
You need to get the fuck out of their way.
Wow.
If you don't, they will leave and they will go somewhere else.
Because they feel like you're just bottlenecking them, right? And they can't. Like you're almost micromanaging in a way. Or we as entrepreneurs, like I have this problem as well sometimes in the past, mainly as well, and I still struggle with it to this day too. It's we're trying to control, because we started everything. Right?
Why did you start your business?
I want to control.
Exactly. What if someone controls you?
That's where I have the resistance.
Right? And so the same thing.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would someone like you work for someone like you?
Huh.
But you need people like you to work for you if you want to grow your company.
Yeah. Yeah. So get out of their own way.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Build a vision, hold them accountable. That's the thing. You're not just saying, here we go, and that's it.
Go.
Build a vision, find the people, hold them accountable, and get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
And then number 5, always find new S-curves. Sam Ovens talks about this, the S-curve. It starts like this, and then it goes like this, but all S-curves have a finish line, have an end to them. The thing that we struggle with and that we think is that just because something is going up, it's going to continue going up. And that was the problem that I had. Instagram is going good. We scaled from 150 to 2.5 million.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That was his, what's it called?
The pop filter went under there and it's gone.
Flew out. Is that a problem?
Keep going. We'll keep
Is that
going.
a problem? No?
Keep going. This will make good.
Okay.
This will be good.
Yeah.
So it goes up, and then you always think it's going to keep going up, but eventually it
goes down. We scaled from 150K a month to 2.5 million a month in 10 months, and we said, well, fuck it, let's go to 10 million.
Yeah.
And then we didn't. We peaked at 2, and then it kept on fucking decreasing. Instead, what we should have done was, okay, stabilize this at 2, now go start another S-curve somewhere else.
Okay.
And that's what entrepreneurs get in the rabbit hole of and fall short is something clicks and it's like, okay, hold it together. I don't want to fucking let go.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's why you got a team. You delegate it.
Yeah.
They stabilize it. Then you go here and you create a new S-curve.
So for you, would that have been a different traffic source specifically, or would it have
Whatever. It could have been many things.
Okay.
It could have been many things. I mean, first of all, we had no setters.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
We were just on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We had no back end, front end, nothing with just one fucking offer.
Product,
right? You know, we were running one funnel, just a VSL. Could have started a webinar. Could have started a live event. So many fucking things we could have done.
Yeah.
Right? I could have launched another vertical.
Yeah.
I had so much fucking traffic. So many things I could have done. It's not like, oh, it's not as simple as like, you know.
It's always this thing.
Exactly. It's just another opportunity.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe start another business. I don't know.
Wow. Bashar, bro, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting us do this. And where can the people find you if they want to learn more, man?
Just go on Instagram, type Bashar JK2. We have over 2 million followers. Make sure that's the account because there's like 10 others. Yeah. So make sure that's the one. Just follow me on Instagram. And then, you know, whatever is happening in my life, in my world, I always post their own story. You post in the feed. And if you want to learn more about what I do, click the link in bio.
I haven't seen him. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is getting me a nice massage here. They got a massage button in this thing. You said in the beginning, you're like, once you get the car, like it's sort of, but like I feel like even though you got the car and you've been driving it, like it still hits.
It still hits. You know when it hits more, it's when people look. or when you'd be literally parked.
Or when this massage starts hitting. Wow,
exactly.
this is good.
Dude, or when you'd be like parked and then people would just literally like stop in the middle and then take a fucking selfie. Or like they clearly see you and then they just stop there and start taking pictures.
You're like this.
You know?
Yeah. You start putting the peace sign.
I don't think it's ever felt like it's not cool.
Yeah.
But I think what it is when people make this kind of stuff as the goal, they'll be disappointed. Like for me, when I came to Miami, it wasn't I'm gonna go live there for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I knew I was stuck. I was stuck financially, I was stuck emotionally, I was stuck in all aspects of my life, and I needed to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't I wanna go somewhere where I can make more money.
Yeah.
In terms of like purchasing power. It was more of I need to get out of my fucking shell that I've been used to for the last 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I need to focus on my business because my friends who I went to high school with were 5 minutes away. My in-laws and my parents were 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And like, I love all of them, but they're not, I always say there's two buckets of people in your life. There's the bucket that's going to, you know, help take you to the next level, the bucket that's gonna always support your dreams, the bucket that's gonna add value to you, and there's the bucket that's always dragging you down.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or they know it or not.
Yeah.
Values don't align, dreams don't align, goals don't align. And normally we spend a lot more fucking time with these people because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
These people are not comfortable.
Yeah, no.
You wanna distance from these people as much as possible and spend as little time as possible with these people and add a lot more people to this bucket.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Bashar is a great friend of mine. I definitely learned a lot and I hope you did too. And if you want another video just like the one you watched, then go ahead and click the video on your screen right now to learn even more on how to grow your business yourself.